Welcome to the Motivational Medium podcast. I'm Anne-Marie Lord, a psychic medium, author, and the founder of the Motivational Medium Academy. On this podcast, we'll explore intriguing topics such as mediumship, psychic abilities, and the amazing idea that we all have intuition within us. Whether you're a believer, skeptic, or somewhere in between, get ready to unlock your extraordinary potential as we discover the supernatural world together. If you want your questions featured on the show, be sure to join my tribe by subscribing to my newsletter at annemarielord.com. Let's go. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the podcast. I went for a walk this morning, and I haven't been for a walk for about 8 days. And I realised really quickly how we can get out of shape. They say muscles have memory. Well, mine didn't have much memory this morning. Even though I'd done my walk, I usually walk between 5 and 7 Ks. And even though I'd done my walk, when I got back, I was more exhausted than normal. And we could say because it was the warm weather, but that would be an excuse. And I just felt, wow, how quickly we lose our abilities, if you like. So if you'd ever been in the gym and then you haven't gone, or you've gone on holiday for a week and you've come back and all of a sudden you're, wow, this is hard work getting back into. I believe the same is with your psychic muscle. So I believe everybody is intuitive. However, if we don't use our intuition, or if we rely on our thoughts, if you like, more than our intuition, then I believe we lose it. So I'm not saying all the psychics and mediums out there, if they don't work for a week, that they lose their ability. It's not quite like that. This is more to do with, if you want to enhance your psychic ability or your intuitive ability, to not do maybe the work that I do, but to enhance your everyday life, then we have to start using it, or we have to start practicing with it. Now, one of the things I used to do with the kids, which everybody can do, is I used to get a pack of playing cards, and I used to do it with my grandkids, and I'd do it with the kids as well when they were young. And we'd go through the cards and we'd pick a card. No one would see the card. Well, I'd see the card, but they wouldn't. And we'd pick the card, and straight away I'd ask them, and you can do this with your kids, and what it will do, it will help them build their intuitive muscle. And it's not to become psychic, or it's not to become a medium. It's more to do with to help them choose and make the right decisions in all areas of their lives. Like whether it's the right partner for them, whether it's the right job, whether it's the right friendship in school, whatever it'll be, or whether it's the right decision to go to somewhere or not to go to somewhere. If we help them build their intuitive muscle or their psychic muscle, isn't that a good thing? So how can we do that? So we get a pack of playing cards and we pull one card out. So I used to say to the kids, is it black or is it red? So they'd say maybe red. Then I would say to them, okay, is it a picture card or is it a number card? And then they'd pick which one. And then they'd have a guess at which one it was, or they'd feel into which one it was. But the one thing that I noticed about the kids is they never had no fear of judgment. And that's where I think we as adults don't trust our instincts. So if you're playing with the pack of cards, you can do it yourself. You can say, okay, is it a red or a black card? Then you can say, is it a picture card or is it a number? You could even go into suits, what suit is it? Just keep using your intuition and feeling until you feel what that card is, and then you get it right. And it's not just about getting it right. I hope I'm explaining this well. It's also about getting it wrong. So what does it feel like when you get it right? What makes you say that it's a red card? What makes you say it's a black card? What makes you say it's a number card? What do you feel like when you get it right? What do you feel like when you get it wrong? Did you go against the grain? Was it not the first thing that came into your head? Did you second guess it? Now, I know this sounds like it's going to take a while. It's fun. Make things fun. Like I'll be driving towards the lights at the road and I'll say, okay, that light is going to stay on green. And I honestly believe that that light is going to stay on green. And 9 times out of 10, it stays on green and I get through it. But it's about using your intuition. What we tend to do is we'll drive down the road, say, for instance, and then we'll see the light is on green. And then we'll say, oh, yeah, that light's going to stay on green. Our intuition kicks in. But then our conscious babble of the mind, like I talk about in the book, The Grateful 3 Approach to Life, that kicks in and that starts saying, no, it's going to change. You better slow down. It's not going to take you through the light, all this kind of stuff. And we listen to that. So by using little tools and strategies like the card situation, playing with the kids, that will help you grow and feel into your intuition. This isn't rocket science. It's simple stuff, but you've got to trust. You've got to go with that first yes or no and see what happens. See how you feel. Because if you let the conscious babble come in, 9 times out of 10, it will be wrong. So say, for instance, you wanted to change your job and a job came up and you're consciously looking for a new job. And then this job came in from nowhere, if you like. Straight away, you're thinking, wow, yeah, that's for me. But then the conscious babble of the mind kicks in and starts putting into your head, my job isn't that bad. Maybe it fits in with the kids. The money isn't that bad. And isn't it better the devil you know than the devil you don't? And then before you know it, you've given away that golden opportunity that the universe has sent you and you're still in the job that you're in. Sometimes change can be hard, and that's why the conscious mind will kick in to try and keep you safe. But if you learn how to trust, or you trust more, you will then know what it feels like to trust. You will know what it feels like to get it right, if you like. And that, my friend, will help you make the decisions in all areas of your life. Some decisions we make in life can be really, really tough, but we know it's the right outcome. It could be a decision to stay in a relationship. It could be a decision to leave a relationship. It could be a decision to stay in a job or stay in a friendship. Or it could be a decision to leave that job or leave that friendship. Every decision we make can have a little bit of discomfort or sometimes a big bit of discomfort attached to it. And that's why we decide not to go with it and we decide to stay in the situation that we're in rather than make that change. And that change may upset people. It may cause a little bit of a rift within a family or within your job situation. But if your gut is telling you that things need to change, then know that it needs to change and put in strategies and techniques, if you like, to make that change, because that's your intuition, that's your gut instinct, that's your psychic ability, if you like, telling you that this is a decision that needs to be made. And the more you trust that, the more you build that muscle. Just like going for a walk, just like going to the gym, you become stronger, you become more powerful in them convictions. You become that powerful that you stop making mistakes, if you like, or you stop making the wrong decisions and you start making the correct ones more often. I hope that made sense. So very quickly going over this, what this podcast today is all about is about trusting your intuition. Many people come to me and I feel that they've got a really, really good intuition or a good psychic ability. But it doesn't mean that they're going to become psychic. It just means that they're going to enhance this ability to make better decisions for themselves and for the people around them, inevitably, because that has a knock-on effect. So start playing the card game with the kids or the people around you. It's really good fun. And notice how you feel when you get something right, and notice how you feel when you get something wrong as well, because that is massively important too, because that will show you which way to go, if you like. So the initial drop that comes into your head, your stomach, or your knowing, as I call it, will let you know whether it's the right decision or whether it's the wrong decision. It's all about trust, and it's all about going with your gut instinct more often and building that muscle. Okay, so I always talk about when I do my live events, and my next one is on the 10th of May, and that's in Clarkson. These are always sold out events, so if you haven't got your tickets, please hurry up and get them, because I think there's a few places left. And I think hopefully there'll still be a few places left when this goes out. So that is all about platform mediumship. So that's where I stand up at the front and I bring your loved ones through with messages of love, connection, validation, and maybe even some guidance, and you guys get to ask a question. Now, I always say you get to ask a question, and if I don't answer the question on that afternoon, then I will always go through a few of them on my podcast. So this is the part of the podcast where I go into the questions. So if you haven't got your tickets already, please come and join me on the 10th of May, and that's in Clarkson, and it's in an afternoon event, and it's platform mediumship. I also want to just quickly say to you as well, this year I'm going to be doing more mindfulness mediumship event workshops. And what they are is me teaching people how to raise their energy, how to keep their vibration high, how to protect your energy if you're an empath, how to tap into your intuition, how to build your intuition and trust it. And I will also introduce you to the mediumship and the difference between psychic ability and mediumship. And we'll go on to maybe enhance that connection. And I'll also share with you some little snippets of what I wish I'd known when I started my spiritual practice. So if you're looking to enhance your spiritual practice and you want to enhance your intuition for everyday life, if you like, and protect your energy, please jump on my website, annemarielord.com, and you will see there's the workshop on there, and there's a few of them throughout the year. And it is all to do with mindfulness, mediumship, it's called, and it's all to do with enhancing your ability to connect with yourself, the spirit world, and making the right choices and protecting your energy. Anyway, let's go on to some of these questions. Now, one of the questions I was asked was, will I find my soulmate? Now, I love these questions because, first of all, I would say to someone who come to me, will I find my soulmate? So, okay, let's look into the cards and see what the cards said. Now, when people come to see me, I won't just say to them that, oh yeah, you'll find your soulmate and it could be this year. I want to know how I get them from today to that situation. So it's like a bit of coaching, a bit of guidance, intuitive coaching, if you like. So let's go into this question and see. And this could be for you too, okay? So if you're looking for your soulmate, I want you to ask yourselves these questions. Firstly, what does a soulmate look like for me? Yeah? Does a soulmate look like a person who is exactly like me? A person who is total opposite to me? What do I want a soulmate to do? Because we can have lots of soulmates in this world. We can have soulmates as friends. We can have soulmates as partners. We can have soulmates as our kids, our brothers or sisters, our mum or dad. Do you know what I mean? There's a deep, deep soul connection. That's what that means. So are you looking in a relationship for a deep, deep soul connection? And then are you going on a swipe app where you may not find a deep, meaningful connection? So you've got to put yourself in certain situations. You've got to put yourself in groups that you feel like would be the person to become your soulmate. So I suppose what I'm saying in a nutshell is if you want to find your soulmate, you can't just sit at home and wait for them to knock on the door, because that usually, 1,000,000%, maybe, doesn't happen. What you've got to do is you've got to think, what does my soulmate look like? What is my soulmate all about? And then where do I think my soulmate would hang out? And if you think your soulmate might hang out on a swipey app, then that's where you'll find them. But if you think the soulmate you're looking for is never going to be on a swipey app, then why are you? Okay? So look for your soulmate in a place where you think your soulmate would hang out. So it could be spiritual places if you're a spiritual person. It could be dance places if you're a dance person. So sign up for dance groups. You know, look in the right place for your soulmate. Don't look in the wrong place because you won't find your soulmate there. So I hope that helped. So will you find your soulmate? Absolutely. If you look in the right place and put yourself out there. So I hope that helped, and I hope that's for anybody. Now there's another one here that I wanted to read out. This one here said, I feel, and I want you to think about this because we've talked about intuition and we've talked about psychic abilities and things like that throughout this podcast. So I want you to think about this. Now, straight away, this question says, I feel stuck in a rut, career going nowhere. Will this change for the better? Now, remember all what we've talked about? We've talked about, is change easy? Most of the time, no. Is change necessary if I feel stuck in a rut? Absolutely. So again, will that person or will that career opportunity come knocking on your door? Probably not. You have got to make some awkward decisions. You have got to make maybe that decision to leave a situation or a job that is not bringing in the opportunities that you require or that you want. But how many of us, me included, have thought, am I 2 millimeters from a breakthrough? Am I going to miss out on something really, really special? For me, if I'm 2 millimeters away or if I'm going to miss out on something really special, I won't be stuck in a rut. I will be going with the flow, really looking for something more, pushing, knowing that it's going to change. There's a totally different feeling to I'm stuck in a rut and feel like my career is going nowhere. So the answer to that, my friend, is change. You need to put in change. Will this change for the better? Absolutely. Now remember, sometimes we need to go on to stepping stones. This is another thing I share with people. If you leave a job or a career and you step onto a stepping stone, which could be another job, know that that mightn't be your job forever. It will just be the stepping stone to get you out of this situation. So if you step on that stepping stone, know that something better will come up, or maybe even another stepping stone. Now, this can happen 2 or even 3 times. It all depends how quick you get your intuition alight, if you like, and you start putting all your ducks in a row. what did he say? Emotion gives you motion. So if you leave a career and then you're into a stepping stone career and it's feeling boring, it's feeling not good, then it's time to move. Now, this could take 2 or 3 times, but you will eventually get to where you want to be. Okay, so make the move. If you feel stuck in a rut and your career's going nowhere, will this change for the better? No, it's time to move. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, and I hope it helps some of you other people out there that are listening to this. Now, someone asked me, what should I do about the situation with my mum? Now, sometimes straight away, I felt like there might have been a disconnect here. She said, he said, I did this, they did that. A blaming scenario. And when we come to a blaming scenario, you know, it's all about her, or she never did this, or he never did that, then nothing ever gets fixed. Everything gets dealt with through bitterness, through anger, through frustration. And I would say if that happens to you when you're around this person, whether it be your mum, your daughter, your son, your wife, your husband, whoever it may be, then the situation isn't going to change unless change is made. So that might also mean that you step back from this situation for a little while. You know, there's also a thing called self-preservation. And if you step back and you take charge of this situation, then the chances are that allows that other person to think maybe that they miss you, to think maybe that it's not all about blame, to let the anger slow down a little bit or dissipate. But if something isn't right, if you keep pushing it with the same knowledge or the same conversations you've had in the past, then nothing is going to change. I would say step back, allow the emotion to settle down a little bit, and then maybe come back through a different avenue if that's what you want when you've stepped back and let the emotion settle down. But blaming someone or being in that situation, when you blame someone, it brings up anger. And if you do that, then that isn't going to heal anything, because nothing is healed through anger. Only things are healed through love. So instead of looking at what this person has done to you, look at what this person did for you. And that, my friend, is through love, how we change it from anger and how we deal with it through love. If you look at it, what they did for you from a knowledge base of what they only knew and how they may have been brought up, then it makes that anger a little bit less, and it gives you the opportunity to make an informed decision, not an emotional decision. I hope that made sense. Anyway, that's a few questions from my live event, my mediumship live event. I hope you can come along and attend one of the workshops one day, or even attend one of the live platform mediumship events. But if not, and if for now you just showing up for this podcast is all you can do, then I thank you so, so much. And yeah, I wish you all the luck in the world and all the love. Take care, my friend, and have a brilliant day. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this show. It's important to note that while I'm here to inspire, encourage and guide you, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist or a doctor. Join me again in 2 weeks for more captivating revelations on the supernatural. Remember to be in with a chance to have your questions answered on the podcast. Subscribe to my newsletter at amarylord.com. Stay in the tribe to vibe. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.